Welcome everybody to podcast number 3, Let's Support Together. My name is Ciara. I'm here with my little co-hosts Una and Gem. And today's topic is mama guilt. The big stick of mama guilt. Do you know it?
Well, yeah.
Is yours a big brown one or black one, or what colour is yours?
Black.
Black. It's like a Sally Rod.
It's a bit knobbly.
Just imagine that.
Knobbly?
Never
heard of that.
It's not plain sailing.
No.
Not plain sailing.
I think of a wooden spoon, I think. Whenever I think about it, I always envisage a wooden spoon that I'd be beating myself with.
And that's guilt is an awful, awful thing.
Guilt's a killer.
That's something that I know we've talked about a lot in the past, and even Lisa working with us, a lot of mummies, that's what was coming to her was guilt, and we definitely realised guilt feeds all illnesses. It's a killer.
I know we touched on it a wee bit at the last podcast with the expectations versus reality, but the guilt...
It feeds the guilt.
It definitely feeds the guilt.
Yeah.
And then the guilt, the illness, feeds the guilt. And then it's like a vicious circle. It's trying to get out of that.
Well, guilt feeds illness, and that's one thing that the illness loves. Depression and anxiety feed from guilt and fear.
Yeah.
And it grows and grows and grows. And the more guilty we are, we're not going to stand tall and shine bright.
So if we could sit here and we could talk about all the guilty stuff that we've ever felt through the parenthood and all the bad stuff, but if we turn it, how do you overcome the mama guilt? Or what was how do you manage it? How do you tame it?
I know with me, I suppose I'm longer in the hood. You know, my wains are teenagers. Does that make it any easier? No, because there's new chapters that open. But I talk to the guilt. And exactly what you say, tame it. I would talk to myself. Many times you hear me talking to myself in the toilet, they were wondering who's in there. It's just me, myself. Actually, I do, you know. I think that's why I'm highly emotionally intelligent.
It's worse if you start answering yourself too.
But no, it's definitely naming it to shame it. Do you get what I mean? The sense of sitting down and thinking, right, what am I guilty? Why am I feeling this guilt? Does this guilt belong to me?
What's this all about?
Exactly. And so I would definitely talk my way through it and name the guilt and sit with it for a while. And after I realised, no, I've no need to be holding this. I'm doing the best I can do. I'm taking time out so I can enjoy time in. I'm the best mother that I can be at this present time. Or I'm the best wife I can be, or the best boss, the best friend that I can be. And it is talking yourself, it's talking through it. But guilt is heavy, so that's something that I've learned over the years, that a lot of the guilt doesn't belong to me. A lot of the S hit is often other people's, that often is passed on to you. And now I would actually stand back from it.
Or hand that wee bag back.
Hand S hit back.
Yeah. Gemma, what's your thoughts on the mama guilt?
I suppose with myself, I'd be very hard on myself. I had to do everything this way, that way, what the book said, to a T, was very hard on myself. And I suppose what helped me through it was the knowledge of myself, knowing my emotions and what's triggering them things, and working through that. So I was able to deal with the guilty emotions coming up and push them back much quicker. So I wasn't allowing them in. They still were there, but I didn't let them get in.
So they were still there and you didn't let them get in. So can you...
So it's more...
It's interesting that if you could... Did you mind?
Yeah, so it's about my wellness ball and filling my jug and giving myself permission to pause and thinking about what is going on here. You know.
What is it all about?
I think when you start knowing yourself,
Yeah.
Literally was about to say that. When you know yourself,
yeah,
and connect with yourself.
exactly, and that's often, we talked about that before, about entering the hood, entering motherhood.
And I suppose sorry I'm interrupting, but no two mummies are the same.
No,
We're all different, and wouldn't the world be more?
but
if
sure,
we were all
that's
the
the
same?
wonderful thing is there's only one of us.
Yeah.
And like when we say that to mums, or we go out into groups and we say, you know, there's only one of you, that's how amazing you are. And I know people either roll the eye or they get really, what do you mean? What do you mean? And at the end of it, you want them to go out and go, yeah, I am who I am. I'm made the way I am. I need to get to know me. I need to get to know what excites me, what stirs me, what brings up these certain emotions. And especially if you're allowing yourself to feel nothing but guilt, you're not going to have a well state of
The
mind.
two main things in life now are keeping us happy and healthy. And if that's all I do, quite content.
In order for to keep you healthy and happy, you're
Yeah.
constantly revisiting.
Yeah.
And I think it is bringing words into it, isn't it? Bringing a voice to the guilt, and realising what is steering this guilt. Where is this guilt coming from? And often maybe it is having to have a conversation.
And them conversation might be difficult.
Yeah.
Oh yes, there's many a difficult conversation. Like we were chatting. We were out in a group last week, and we were chatting to a mum, and we'd asked her, "What did you do for self this week?" Because it was a Friday, so we asked what she did, and she said, "I went away. I took time out with a few of my friends and had a good old chat and a laugh." And we had the jug with us, and we says, "And where would you have measured yourself before that?" And she measured herself, and where would you measure yourself now? And she definitely filled the jug up, right? And I says, "That's amazing, good on you." I said, "How are you feeling about that?" And she says, "You know what? I really did feel great joy and enthusiasm for the next day." She says, until my older son, a teenager, turned around and said, "Oh, it's all right for you, Mum. You were out last night." And she says, straight away, what I felt then was nothing but guilt.
That's somebody else's. I would be handing that back to.
Well, he's a teenager. So think about that. Yeah, hand it back to him, but also put the words to that. So you're educating him for then when he goes on in life, you know. So what we were chatting about then is, well, you know, that you're sitting, that guilt doesn't belong to you. What? Oh, that's really heavy in you. And she says, it is. It's really playing on me. I should have been at home. And you go, no, but you time out helped you with time in, and even explaining that to your son that, yes, I'm a mum, but there's a me behind that mum title. I wear many a cap, but I also have to take time out for me. And she says she never thought of explaining that to him. So there's where the conversation starts, isn't it?
It's like there was an Una before there was Una the mommy.
Same as Ciara, Jam.
You know, like, and as we chatted about it in the last one, you park yourself on the shelf.
Yeah.
You lose all sense of self because your whole life is dedicated towards these children and a husband or a partner.
Yes, you do want that. You want to protect and be there for your family, but you need to be there for yourself first.
What do they tell us when we're on an airplane? What is
You
their
put the mask on yourself before you can help somebody else.
And I remember going, no, straight away I would go and put it on my kids. But I cannot be well and be a healthy, happy mum, healthy, happy Una, if I do not
Look
take
after
care.
yourself.
And folks, that's not easy. And some of us don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
And then what we allow is guilt to be the main player, the dictator. And that word, selfish, when it used to be used to me, that was my trigger word. That was my stop, pause, turn around and, okay, what do you want? Okay, what do you want me to do? Okay, I'll not do that for me. I'll do that for you. And I've had to sit with that word for a while and wonder, why is that my trigger word? And we all have them. We all have a word that is a trigger word to us, pokes the bear in us.
I was very much a people pleaser and would have done everything for everybody else but did nothing for myself. And then it's very hard to turn that around. And I suppose I'm only doing that recently because of the work that I've done with Support Together and the work that Una has done with me. and learning that it's okay to be, you're not being selfish, you're being self-full.
Yeah.
Because I know that I'm a better version of me whenever I give that wee bit of time to me. And that's
Absolutely.
what's needed. That's what I need in my life. That's what my family needs. Time out does definitely help with time in.
Yeah.
And where before I would have had the paranoia of what's everybody else thinking. Oh, they think that I should be doing that. I don't. But what they're thinking doesn't matter, because
Exactly.
what's that we saying you have in her?
It's not my business what everybody else thinks about me.
Exactly.
I can't change how they think. Yes, no, sometimes whatever state of mind you're in, you allow that to seep in more, and that's often where you realise, you look at that indicator, and you know, the lights are flashing, something's going on. I'm allowing what they've said, what I've heard that they've said about me, to affect me today. What's going on with me? And often when you sit with that, you realise you're either haven't slept well, you haven't ate well, you're maybe running low on vitamins. You're you know, there's something else pressing on that. And it isn't none of our business. And that was something, a saying that came up one time on social media or something. And I thought, do you know, I fucking get that. And when I'm at my wellest, that's the saying I keep saying.
I've heard it many a time.
If I stop saying it, you know I'm slipping. But it isn't on it does. Things hurt, of course, but it's where you're at yourself often. And a lot of parents are running on empty, as we talked about before, and there's one thing you allow in, and we say the big stick of mama guilt, because it's an actual physical thing we have in the office. It's like the hook of guilt. And when we bring our visuals toolkit out and we sit with a mummy with our visual toolkit, she gets it. Yeah. And we go, like, that stick is, you're internally really hurting yourself. And you're worthy of wellness. You're worthy of being held. You're worthy of not feeling suffocated. I don't know about you two, but did you ever feel that sense of...
I felt trapped.
Yeah.
Everything seemed
Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Overwhelmed.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Have I ever watched Groundhog Day?
No.
I did.
Do you think the dads get the dad guilt? Because that was for me in my house. When you're saying about feeling all overwhelmed, I would have thought everything's changed for me, and his life's just gone on the way it's normal. Yes, he's now got 3 weans and a wife.
I'd say their guilt's very different.
Yeah.
With different aspects, like even income, working, you know, not being there at home, always away working, trying to get money for the house and mortgage, and
I know for me, we had to start communicating to overcome that guilt, because it was gonna start festering in and seeking in and having a divide, because for me, I was starting to have a resentment against Eamon and how his life hadn't changed. In my head, his life hadn't changed, but as you say, it was a different kind of guilt.
Yeah.
Everything was just sailing on as normal for him, whereas it was me that was having to make all the sacrifices for the children. But it was the communication that was key in our relationship to be able to get through that.
And then often, sure, we would tell him, no, sure, I'll do it. Or sure, you go on ahead, I'll do it, sure.
I'll do it better.
I'll do it better, and that I'll do it better. Often then what happens is, you know, and husbands have shared that, they're afraid then to do A, B and C, because I'm not doing it right. And I think they have a right to father, we have a right to give them that honour. But Gemma said, I think the guilt comes in a different... it sounds different to them. It comes from a different viewpoint, and
a lot of what they're missing out on because they can't.
That's right.
And I know working families are different now, but the majority of men are the breadwinners still, so it's very different for them.
This is Fill Your Cuppa, the Support Together podcast, and we couldn't bring the podcast to you today without the support of Moody Activewear. Moody Activewear creates high quality, functional activewear so that you can feel good doing the things that you love. They don't just support your ass, they support your head, because they donate 100% of their profits to organisations dedicated to supporting women's mental health, such as Support Together. visit moodyactivewear.co.uk.
It is, and even witnessing the birth and feel so consumed with what they've watched their partner go through. You know,
They're
and not
scared
able
for
to
life.
help. Yeah, definitely. And not being able to help or wanting to take that pain away.
Yeah.
I know from my own experience, my husband went into fix-it mode. Everything was, sure, we'll go away for the weekend, or here, do you want to go down to town and we'll buy something, or and that made things nearly worse. But that's just was him. He wanted to fix it. And right to what you said, Ciara, it is that conversation, it's communication, and sitting down and going, look, I feel immensely agitated here. I feel irritable. You know, I feel that all you're doing has been out, back to the I statement rather than going, you are never in this house. You're always out. I'm left with these wains and I feel I have no blah, blah, blah. Back to the I feel, and choosing when to sit down and talk about that. You can't talk about that in the middle of a child maybe looking fed, or changing a nappy. It's about choosing them moments of two sitting down and having them really quality conversations.
Sometimes I have to start that conversation through a text message.
Yes,
Or through
black
WhatsApp.
and white.
And then because sometimes they don't have a crystal ball. There's no some things about it, and doesn't know what's going on. So then he gets a wee message, he'll know to expect it if there's been a few crosswords that morning, and he gets the message. He's able to look at it and think, oh right, okay, I didn't realise you felt like that. That's how I started off, because otherwise Ciara just sits and cries. I tried to talk, and then he gets frustrated, and then you get angry, and then.
But then what happens? You feel you've lost control. So it's about bringing a wee bit of self-management in. And that helps doesn't that help really massively with your connection?
Yeah, I'll never forget the day. It was during the summer. Patrick was about 2, and I had a shit day. I was all over the place, and Sean landed home, and I think I had made dinner or something. He said to me, "The grass needs cut. Do you want to go out and do it?" And I thought, hallelujah, you are realising how I'm feeling, and he knew I needed that space out. Cutting the grass, it just gave me one. We have a big lawn, so it takes an hour to cut it. But just getting out, getting the headphones on, and just going up and down, and getting that grass mode was.
But he knew.
He needed.
Now, if that was somebody said to me, "You want to go out and cut the grass," I go, "You booking serious, are you?"
I love cutting the grass.
So that's I think is a really good factor to get across, that you love,
Yeah.
and cutting the grass is something that you. I suppose it's that you're repeating, you're going up and down, you're able with your thoughts, you're able to process. So he knew that kept you well. That's brilliant. And did you say to him after that?
Yeah.
No, Sean, thank you for seeing for seeing that.
He seen me when I felt
seen?
validated.
Yeah.
I think maybe it could be an idea to get a wee dad in here and have a conversation. It'll be interesting to see
yes.
what their viewpoint
Of
would be on
course,
that.
it'd be amazing.
So it would.
Because I think when we all have different viewpoints, and if we start understanding each other's viewpoint and what keeps me happy won't keep Ciara happy, or Gemma, and you're so right, that it'd be really important to get a dad, or even an S2 dad in.
So if we change it about this week and see, is there anything that you would love to do to fill your cuppa? Something that you've never done before?
No, she sprung that on us. To fill my cuppa.
I'd love to learn how to swim.
Do you not know how to swim?
I haven't a clue. I'm petrified. I had a bad experience whenever I was young. The first time I was ever in a pool, I thought I could. It's no bother. I jumped in near drowned. I would love to be able to go to a pool with Patrick and be able to float or do something in the water with him.
I wouldn't mind learning to swim myself, to be honest.
I can
It's
swim.
a big thing holds me back.
I hate water. I like looking at it.
Yeah,
None of us
thinking
like
in
the
it.
water.
No.
No, my kids are mad about it. I don't know, what would I like to do to fill my cuppa? I think I'd love to know, this is something I keep going back to, and I don't go and do anything about it, so it's not going to come to me. I have to go to it. It's probably photography, knowing a wee bit more about, you know what I'm like, my phone. I call my phone my camera. Give me my camera. And they're all like, what camera? Now the girls know it's my phone. Yeah, I think and it's about yet again. I use time. Oh, I have no time. I've no time. I have to make time for that because that's not going to come to me. What about you, Ciara? Go.
I don't actually know. I suppose everybody always says I'm a wild hard person, because if I want something, I'll just go and do it. So I don't, at the minute, I don't know if there's anything sitting out there that I would like.
Do you skydive?
Not to hope, no. I'd faint at the top and I'd end up on every broken bone at the bottom.
It wouldn't be you, not at
No,
all.
it's not me at all.
So what would you want to do to fill your cuppa?
I love getting away. I love getting away and having the crack and having a laugh with friends or with Eamon, or time out helps me with time in. So any chance of time out, I'll take it.
We trip to New York.
That's what you see, you have got her there. That is exactly what you talk a lot about. But then there's money to that. There's a whole.
My husband, if you're listening, Eamon, I have not forgot that you are taking me to New York for my 40th birthday.
No pressure there.
Yeah, no pressure.
But that's a good, because you have got us there, you know. And what more would I like to do? And that's something about having that connection with yourself. And you're right, you have done a lot on work
me.
on you. So and it is, and trying to keep that cuppa.
Trying to keep it full, trying to have a wee bit more. It's not the same stuff. Yes, there's stuff that you do every week that fills your cup. Taking the time out, going to the gym, listening to music and all the rest of it. But if there was money was no object and time was no object and you could do anything to fill your cup, what would you love to do?
Fly to the moon.
You see, there you
That's
go.
first thing came into my head.
Fly to the moon.
Money's no object.
Money's no object. I know I have a cub at home, and I had to fill his cuppa, and money was an object. It'd be to go down to see the Titanic.
I just would love that I could have
We're going to
support
opposite ends there,
together
Ciara.
all over Ireland. You see, I think, and that's probably because it's such a
We're
big
all
part of
different.
my life. If money was no object, yeah, that's what I'd want to have. The knowledge and support throughout the whole island of Ireland.
Oh, for support together to help all them mummies.
Honestly, the power of the mum, the voice of the mum. I think that's what that would be.
fill your
Something
cup.
I would fill. Oh, just as I'd be
Overflowing.
chuffed a bit, boys, to see that. It'd be deadly. But
Will we do a lot of jokes?
here we go. Here we come. I smell the cheese.
You know, I do not trust stayers. They're always up to something. R.I.P. boiled water. You will be missed. Oh, even got a wee laugh with you in the corner. So we did. eBay is so useless. I tried to look up lighters, and all I got was 13,749 matches. See, this is all laughing.
Please, that's the smelliest of cheese ever.
What do you do if you see a fireman? Put it out. Man.
Oh, well, here.
That's good.
I think that's it.
I think that is right.
You will be missed.
This is Fill Your Cuppa, the Support Together podcast. Brought to you by me, I'm the host, Mrs. O, Ciara O'Gowan, and my co-hosts Una Leonard and Gemma Cassidy. Today we are supported by Moody Activewear and produced by 9874 Creative.